one of the number one reasons why Kegels suck and you should stop doing Kegels. Let's talk about it. Okay, so it goes without saying, I don't like Kegels, at least traditional Kegels, the way that they're just handed to us on a piece of paper and we're told to just squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. No. Now, should you know how to do a proper pelvic floor contraction and relaxation, which is what a Kegel or Kegel exercise is? It's the contraction and also relaxation of the pelvic floor. Should you know how to do that? Absolutely. 100% you should know how to do that. What I have an issue with is the traditional, outdated, old school way of doing Kegels that so many women are still being taught. What we're going to talk about today is one of the number one reasons why you should stop doing Kegels. They're not working for you, and why I say Kegels suck and screw the Kegels. And that is pelvic floor tightness or a hypertonic pelvic floor. Let me break it down for you, all right? Let me tell you a little story. So after my third or fourth, I've had 5 babies. After one of those human beings came out of my body, I went in hard doing all the things. I went to the gym 4 or 5 days a week. I took step classes. I was on the bikes and the machines. I was lifting weights. I was doing yoga. I was doing all the things. Does that sound like you? Because I know that is the story for so many of us. After giving birth, we do all the things, right? Because we don't want to leak. We don't want to have the pelvic floor pain and dysfunction. We want to heal our core. We want to feel good, and we want to look good. And there's nothing wrong with that. You deserve to look good, okay? I digress. Anyway, doing all the things. Did I gain some strength? Did I gain some muscle? Sure did. Did I lose some weight? Yep. But guess what happened to my pelvic floor? Everything got worse. The leaking, which was not even a problem at first, it started off slow, and the more I did, the worse it got. The prolapse symptoms, which at that time I didn't even know what a prolapse was and didn't even know what the heck I was feeling. I just knew stuff down there was not right, got worse. My diastasis, recti, my abdominal separation, got worse. Everything in my core and pelvic floor system was getting worse no matter what I did. Fast forward, and I learned about pelvic floor physical therapy, something else I had never heard about, never knew. Wait a minute, there's physical therapists, and then this therapist just specific for the pelvic floor? Blew my mind, craziness. So I found a good one in my city, and upon doing an internal exam, she told me my pelvic floor was hypertonic, which means a muscle that already has too much tone. In other words, it's too tight, it's already contracted, it needs to relax and let go. Back to the story of the Kegels. When we're doing a Kegel or a Kegel, pelvic floor contraction, what are we doing, mama? Do you know what you're actually doing when you're doing that? You are contracting those muscles, and you should be letting them go. Contracting them and letting them go. Quiz time. Who can tell me what happens when you're constantly contracting, tightening, tensioning a muscle that's already too tight? Everything goes to hell. No, but seriously, that muscle becomes overworked and dysfunctional. My pelvic floor was already too tight. I should never have been doing Kegels. My pelvic floor therapist said to stop them, right? Completely. She said, don't even do them a little bit. You need your pelvic floor to downtrain, meaning to relax. So one of the number one reasons, mama, that pelvic floor contractions, aka Kegels, need the boot. You need to say screw it. You have a hypertonic pelvic floor. The muscles are already too tight. Contracting them repeatedly is going to make it worse. it's not going to solve your issues. You're not going to stop leaking. You'll see no improvement to your prolapse symptoms. Sex will still be painful. You'll have issues in the restroom and overall discomfort to your pelvic floor. If you've been doing Kegels for any amount of time and things have not gotten better or they have gotten worse, there is a chance that you have a hypertonic pelvic floor and you should not be doing Kegels. So if you want to understand more and dive even deeper into the pelvic floor and the proper way we really should be doing Kegels and why traditional Kegels suck and we need to say screw them, go ahead and watch this next video. It's going to go into so much more detail and give you so much valuable information for your core and pelvic floor.